Have you ever wondered how Japan, devastated by World War II, became one of the world's leading economies in just a few decades? In the immediate aftermath of the war, Japan was a country in ruins. The conflict had ravaged its infrastructure, reducing cities to rubble and leaving the nation's once thriving industries in a state of disarray. The loss was not just physical. Japan's colonies and overseas assets, which had once contributed significantly to its wealth, were gone. The war had wiped out decades of progress, leaving an economy that was nearly paralyzed. The country was burdened with massive war debts, and its population was struggling with unemployment and poverty. The occupation by Allied forces was an additional layer of complexity, adding a new set of challenges to an already daunting situation. It wasn't just the physical infrastructure that was damaged. The nation's economic and social systems were equally affected. The war had disrupted trade and production cycles, leading to hyperinflation. The value of the Japanese yen plummeted, and the cost of living skyrocketed. The country was in a state of economic chaos. The occupation by the Allied forces, led by the United States, brought about a complete overhaul of Japan's political and economic systems. Post-war reforms were initiated, aimed at democratizing the Japanese society and economy. These changes, though necessary, were not without their own set of challenges. The loss of its colonies meant that Japan was cut off from its sources of raw materials, a situation that was further exacerbated by the economic sanctions imposed by the Allied forces. The country was forced to rely heavily on imports, leading to a severe trade deficit. Despite these challenges, Japan was not without its strengths. The country had a highly educated and disciplined workforce, a strong sense of national unity, and a culture that valued hard work and perseverance. These qualities would prove to be the bedrock upon which the nation would rebuild itself. With the country in ruins, the road to recovery seemed impossible. Yet, Japan managed to make an economic turnaround. How did this happen? The answer to that question lies in the extraordinary tale of resilience, innovation, and determination that is Japan's post-war economic miracle. The year 1949 marked a turning point in Japan's economic history with the introduction of the Dodge Line. This pivotal development was named after American economist Joseph Dodge, who was appointed as a financial advisor to the Japanese government. His mission? To help stabilize an economy that was reeling from the aftermath of the Second World War. The Dodge Line was a series of economic policies that aimed to transform the Japanese economy. The measures were bold and they were drastic. They included budgetary restraints, monetary tightening, and a fixed exchange rate. The goal was to create a stable base from which Japan's economy could grow and prosper. Firstly, to tackle rampant inflation that was eating into the value of money, Dodge enforced stringent budgetary discipline. The government had to drastically cut spending and increase efficiency in order to balance its budget. This was a tough pill to swallow, but it was a necessary one. Secondly, the Dodge Line implemented a tight monetary policy. This was done by withdrawing excess money from the economy, thereby reducing the money supply. The effect? It helped to dampen demand and further curb inflation. The final piece of the Dodge Line was a fixed exchange rate between the Japanese yen and the US dollar. This was aimed at providing stability and predictability in international trade, giving Japanese businesses the confidence to invest and grow. But the Dodge Line was not without its critics. The austerity measures led to a severe recession in the early 1950s, resulting in high unemployment rates and widespread hardship. Yet despite the initial pain, the Dodge Line's policies were instrumental in stabilizing the Japanese economy. Inflation was brought under control, government finances were put on a firmer footing, and the stage was set for future growth. The Dodge Line proved to be a tough but necessary stepping stone on the path to economic recovery. The Dodge Line laid the groundwork for Japan's economic recovery, but it was just the beginning. Following the stabilization of the economy, Japan entered a period of extraordinary growth, known as the Japanese economic miracle. This era spanning from 1955 to 1972, saw Japan's economy grow at an unprecedented rate, outpacing even the most prosperous nations of the time. This high economic growth was driven by several factors, the foremost being cooperation between government and industry. The Japanese government played a pivotal role in guiding the economy, setting priorities, and allocating resources. This cooperation allowed Japan to focus on sectors that were most likely to drive growth and prosperity. Another key driver was technology and knowledge transfers. Japan was able to learn from Western nations, adopting their technological advancements and integrating them into their own industries. This made Japanese products highly competitive on the global market, giving them a crucial edge. The third factor contributing to Japan's economic miracle was its dedicated and educated workforce. Japanese workers were known for their discipline, loyalty, and high levels of education. This allowed industries to operate efficiently and with a high degree of precision, leading to quality products that were in demand worldwide. Among the industries that fueled this growth, steel, automobiles, and electronics stood out. The steel industry, for example, developed rapidly, providing the backbone for Japan's booming construction and automobile sectors. The automobile industry also flourished, with Japanese cars gaining a reputation for reliability and affordability. Electronics, meanwhile, became synonymous with Japan as companies like Sony and Panasonic became household names around the globe. This period of high economic growth was not just about numbers and industries. It was a time when Japan, rising from the ashes of war, demonstrated what a nation can achieve with strategic planning, hard work, and a dedicated populace. Through a combination of strategic policies and hard work, Japan had transformed itself into an economic powerhouse. The 1980s saw Japan's economy reach new heights, but it also sowed the seeds of a major economic crisis. During this time, Japan experienced an economic phenomenon now known as the bubble economy. This was a period characterized by rapid and inflated growth in asset prices, particularly in real estate and the stock market. As prosperity seemed to be overflowing, optimism ran high, and many believed that this economic boom would continue indefinitely. Banks and financial institutions started lending extensively, often with little regard for the borrower's ability to repay the debt. This easy access to credit further fueled the speculation, causing an unprecedented surge in property and stock prices. However, as with all bubbles, Japan's bubble economy was not sustainable. By the early 1990s, the bubble had burst, leading to a severe economic crash. The stock market plunged, property prices plummeted, and the country was thrust into a period of economic stagnation known as the lost decade. The impact of the crash was so severe that it took Japan's economy more than a decade to recover. The burst of the bubble economy had significant consequences. Many companies and individuals who had taken on large amounts of debt during the boom years found themselves unable to repay their loans, leading to a wave of bankruptcies. The banking sector, which had been at the heart of the bubble, was hit particularly hard. Many banks were left with huge amounts of bad debt, which weakened their financial positions and led to a credit crunch. Despite this economic turmoil, it's crucial to remember that Japan's economic fundamentals remained strong. The country still had a highly educated workforce, advanced technology, and a strong manufacturing sector. These strengths, coupled with the resilience and determination of the Japanese people, allowed Japan to weather the crisis and eventually embark on a path of recovery. The bubble economy and its burst serve as a stark reminder of the dangers of economic speculation and easy credit. It shows us that while rapid economic growth can be exciting, it's also important to maintain a sense of caution and realism. Despite the economic turmoil, Japan's economic fundamentals remain strong, enabling it to weather the crisis. From the ashes of World War II to the heights of the bubble economy, Japan's economic journey has been nothing short of remarkable. Today, Japan stands tall as an economic titan. Its extraordinary post-war recovery and rapid growth have catapulted it to the position of the third largest economy in the world, just behind the United States and China. This economic powerhouse is the result of decades of strategic planning, resilience, and relentless hard work. Japan's economy is incredibly diverse, with leading industries that range from automotive manufacturing to electronics, robotics, and even the culinary arts. The country is home to some of the world's most recognized and respected brands. Companies like Toyota, Honda, Sony, and Nintendo are just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to Japan's global economic influence. But Japan's economic prowess extends far beyond its borders. The country plays a pivotal role in global trade, with its products and innovations reaching every corner of the globe. Whether it's a Toyota car cruising down the highways of America, a Sony television in a European living room, or a Nintendo game console entertaining children in Africa, Japan's economic footprint is truly global. Moreover, Japan is not just exporting goods, but also ideas and innovations. From the lean manufacturing methods that transformed the automotive industry to the unique management philosophies that are studied in business schools around the world, Japan continues to shape the global economic landscape, yet the journey hasn't always been smooth. Japan has faced its fair share of economic challenges, from the devastating aftermath of World War II to the bursting of the bubble economy. But each time, the country has shown an incredible ability to bounce back, demonstrating a resilience that is deeply ingrained in its culture. Japan's economy is also a study in balance. While the country pursues aggressive economic growth, it also places a high value on sustainability and social welfare. This balanced approach is reflected in its high standard of living, world-class healthcare, and strong commitment to environmental sustainability. Japan's economic transformation is a testament to the power of resilience, strategic planning, and hard work. It's a story that continues to inspire nations around the world.